Hello, Animal Messages with Julie, and it's July 2022. Okay, that's about all I can tell you. So we had 2 trauma clearings in the last 2 days. There's been a full moon, number 1. I don't know how that affects everything, but apparently it affects everything. So we've got Chevy, who's a cat right there, and Ella, who's a dog right there. So Chevy yesterday, and this is what he wanted me to drink too. He's an orange tabby. And his owner's a client of mine, one of my first clients. So she sent me a video yesterday morning of him coughing, and it's a nasty cough down from in the bronchioles where the whole body is like this male orange tabby. I want to say maybe he's 3 years old. And he's an indoor outdoor. So he worked through me. I suspect it was a poison. He ate something. He was like, I ate something. Remember, he's indoor outdoor. He's like, it's something I ate. And like I said, the bronchioles were really inflamed. So I had peppermint all over me. There was so much peppermint that it ate through some of the paint on my little lap desk. Even he had On Guard doTERRA, which is for immunity. I was doing the body processes that I was trained on humans to do, that increases immunity. And then he wanted me to drink tea, like hot tea, and I said, what kind? And it was English. And so we put it in here, and he wanted the smaller one, not a mug, because then it would be super hot to open up that chest. And at some point it was really hot coming out of my chest, in the middle of my chest. The skin was hot. It was hot to the touch. So the poison was being pulled out. And I just about yelled at a person today as I was getting out of the car to come in to do the show. Somebody's got a Roundup container and they're squirting. And just me, who's I almost wanted to say, get out of here. I mean, I don't know if it was that was the poison. I don't know what it was. It's happened before in my life with cats. It's the same cough, and it's the same, like, there's a good chance they're going to die. Like, you get that sense that this is serious. How are we going to nurse them through this? And the poison has to come out of their body. Maybe it'd be considered an allergic reaction if it were in a human, where they can't breathe. But so we almost lost Chevy, but we didn't. So last night I got a picture of him sleeping on his person on a fleece blanket. All right. So then the day before, I did a clearing because it's called a bitch fight. When female dogs fight, it's a bitch fight. It's okay. And one of the dogs did have some wounds on the side of the face. The man of the house got in between them and got injured too. Not that he's hospitalized, not like that, but enough that they called in the animal communicator. I don't know what's going on here, but the pack that lives together had a bitch fight. So, and these are indoor dogs, and they go for a walk, and they live in the suburbs, and they're bigger dogs. They're mastiffs. And one is a bird dog, a black lab, a bird dog that goes duck hunting, one, but the rest are mastiffs. So they're big. Like, they sit in the chair. They look like me. They sit like this, actually, on the sofa with their legs out like that. So Ella was the one that suffered the facial wounds, and she turned out to be the instigator of it. And she also had on the other side of her face, the joint here was like where the pain shot right through into my ear, like it wanted to pop out the earbud, like that. Now she's been treated. So we did trauma clearing on her, and she sat there for a long time, just just clearing this. And I talked to each of the dogs, and within the last 6 months, they lost their matriarch. That's, where's it here? Jolly. Jolly, there's Jolly. She passed over. So they lost their matriarch. So now a dog named Jett she was second in charge. Now she's first in charge. She's the matriarch now. So she's new to the matriarch role of the pack. And Jolly, who's deceased, came through and talked with Jett on how to do this. And is like, you weren't quick enough and fast enough. Your strike has to be quicker and harder in order to prevent a fight. So when Ella was like on the last nerve of everybody, it needed to be like quicker and harder, like firm, as Jolly was, teaching Jett from the beyond. But and it's crazy anyway, because I'm in Wisconsin, they're in California, and they're dogs. So if you're still listening to this and you're beyond that, okay, how much crazier could it be that the dead dog came back to talk to the live dog? All right, that's just a little jump. So yes, and so Jett was like, okay, all right, so harder is better, because that doesn't seem intuitive, right? Harder is better. It's like, yes, it's got to be quicker and harder to prevent the fight. If you're gonna send a message, boom, like that. Oh, okay, all right. And the new matriarch, let me get her picture up here. Boom, boom, boom. That's her.
Look at her.
Yeah, that's her yesterday. Okay. And she still looks subdued, like, oh, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in this matriarch role. Jolly, come back. We need you. But yeah, she has one ear down, and I said, well, they're like, is she sad? I says, well, heavy is the head that wears the crown. She's in charge, and she's learning, and she feels bad that she didn't do it effectively. But now she knows. So the whole pack was trauma cleared, and each one was talked to. And the bird dog, of course, was like, he was like, you need to go hunting. You need a bird. You need a bird. That's what I do. You need to go get a bird. Like that'll solve your mood. You won't be annoyed anymore. Just go get a bird. Go get some bird blood. Go get some duck blood. And it was showing me all, goes with the man of the house out duck hunting. So he's showing me all the duck camouflage stuff. And that's the only dog that goes out into the wilderness and the lakes to go hunting. Like, well, they're not bird dogs. They're mastiffs. They're not drawn to jumping in the water and go getting a down duck and bringing it back. So that was that week. And yeah. And then tomorrow is the art show. Okay, so that's this one. Way up in Cedar Grove at the Heart to Hands Healing Center. So it's in the yoga studio. Yep. And so those of you that have been watching and have been coming know that there's a head trauma here. And that's where I gain the capacity to hear the animals. But it also means that my brain is kind of like an AFib heart, where it goes dit, 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 dit. So I do all of the artworks to calm the brain. That's how it all started. This was the clearing with the pack that had the bitch fight, and it's not done. So I take notes on all these kinds of things. I can't see detail very well, so I use sketch pads and huge marker pads, and here's some more stuff. So there's over 200 pieces, only 40 will be displayed. And it turns out that is also all those pieces, because I'll do them in the evening when it's a dim light too, because I'm trying to calm the brain so I can go to sleep. I'm just trying to, so it keeps, gets, those are also color medicine. They're color medicine. So certain people will need a lot of that green. Certain people will need a pink with some green, and that'll just like soothe them when they look at them. So it's multidimensional color medicine that's been coming through that. The reason I wear the hats is because when I had the head trauma, it's a little stuck open. I'm very, very open to the ethers. Let's just say I don't understand it because, as Patrick knows too, I was an accountant and a very type A person. You know, you know, like to have fun, but let's not deviate too far out of the range. um, so so we're doing that tomorrow. Yep. And if you're just tuning in, if this is your first video, okay, this is what happens. I'm an empath, so I feel what the animal feels, and I hit my head. So now I hear them in English. It's a transliteration skill. I was a teacher also, so that's been developed over years. It's just a tiny jump that it jumped into the animal world. And then the animal and I talk about what's gone on, and they're given new jobs or assignments if I can. Sometimes I can't, sometimes that's to their own higher power. And then they choose to change their behavior, because they're all about the pack or they're all about the colony. And they oftentimes don't ask why. So they're easier to work with, my point of view, than humans, than people. They don't want to know why. Why was it that way? They're just like, oh, okay. And they just move on. So, and as you can tell on here, I'm just talking a mile a minute because that's all the doing too many things, too many balls in the air. So, Farley, what's going on with you? Yeah, I'm hot. Are you hot? Yeah. You need a haircut too? You need one too? What about Cassidy? She needs one real bad? What makes you say that? You're so hot? Really? Okay, I know. Is this your first summer, Farley? Yes? Do you know what summer is? No? Okay. Is this your first hot time outside? No, I had last year. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hi, sweetie. Okay. And now Holly's at Holly's house. I wonder if Holly has any questions or stuff to say. I don't hear a voice. Let me see. Has to unmute. There she
I
is.
am at Mom's house. I am not I'm not home. I'm at my mom's. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You're at Mom's.
I'm at Mom's and she is watching some movie.
Oh, yep. And she's got a hearing issue, so it's up loud.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
Yeah.
So Holly brought to my attention today these baby bunnies that were on a property, a larger property that has a caretaker. Yeah. Yeah.
It really bothered me. It still kind of does.
Yeah. Because there's a caretaker, and this man was carrying the little baby bunny and made a comment that the bunny was going behind on the compost heap. So y'all know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, they are eating the vegetables, the bunnies, right?
No, the plants.
The plants. They're eating the plants. Okay. So I checked in with the bunny, and what did the bunny see? I'm gonna read my text here. He said, "This is our home. This is our contract." Because Holly was thinking maybe we can talk with them. Maybe they can go to another property where there isn't a caretaker that's going to catch them and put them on the compost heap. And they were like, this one bunny was like, no, this is our property. This is our contract. And what they mean by contract is there's a belief that they sign a contract when they come into that body. of their life. So when they leave their body, when they drop their body, the contract is up. So even if their contract is a day, if it's 5 days, if it's 5 months, 5 years, that was their contract. So he's basically saying, nope, even though we know we're being caught and disposed of, this is our contract. Yeah. So, I mean, I said maybe a local coyote comes and has a meal at night, you know, before, because it's freshly killed, so it wouldn't have decomposed yet. I don't know, maybe it's food for some birds of prey or something like that. There's a whole thing that myself as a human don't know of, that, you know. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on there. I don't have to know what's going on there, you know. So it's like, all right. But that is hard to see when you know somebody's gonna do away with a cute little thing. That's, yeah. Yeah. Although I disposed of a mouse last night. So,
Oh, you got the mouse?
yeah, the trap got the mouse.
It was just
was
the
quick.
one.
Just the one mouse. So far. I think it's
Good.
just the one. Yeah, Mr. Mouse. Yep. And it wasn't the wooden ones. My housemate bought these plastic ones, but it still went like this.
Yeah.
And I got out the hydrogen peroxide, clean up a little blood splatter on the carpet. Country girls can. You know, and for anybody that doesn't know this, you put it in a plastic bag, like a real trash bag, not the grocery store kind of thin bags, and you put it outside in the trash bin outside. Like that. If it's a whole, yeah, if it's a whole carcass, you could take it a few blocks away for coyote to grab fresh at night. But if it's connected something, don't just throw it in the kitchen trash, because then people are going to come into the building or wake up in the morning and be like, what's that smell? Because it's now tissue that's decomposing. You don't want that in your house.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. So yeah. Because I've had people do that. It's like, what is this? You're putting the mouse in your kitchen trash and they just dump it into the trash without a cover. I'm like, what is
Yeah. Come on.
Nobody wants to come to your house and see that. Anyway, he's got the purple ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been chewing on that thing for a while now. And
Hey, Farm.
Cassidy wants it.
Oh my God, that's a good ball. Oh, she's waiting for it. Look at that. Look at that girl. She said again, I need a haircut. What part needs cutting? Oh, she's going like this. So maybe some of her hairs are catching on her eyelashes.
Yeah, she goes like this with her paws all the time.
She
wipes
wants
her
this
face.
cut. She wants this cut.
Yeah, it was cut. You can see her eyes. She was groomed a few days ago.
Few days ago, Cassidy. It needs to be cut more. Or do you like the groomer? She loves the groomer. She said, I love the groomer. What do you love about the treats? Treats. She's showing me like hard things.
Okay.
Oh, my favorite treats. Oh, that groomer knows something you don't know, Patrick.
They don't tell me that they give her treats.
No.
But I'm sure they do give her treats. You know, it's like, so they sit still while they're being groomed.
Or sometimes you just fall in love with a certain dog, you know, as a groomer.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just fall, maybe that groomer's just fallen in love with Cassidy and is like, here you go, you know. Maybe they seem like they have a special relationship. She said she loves her groomer and she loves the treats. So
Okay.
whoever's doing it, there's a special relationship there. Oh, that's
That's
awesome. That's
good to
awesome.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What
she
about
wants to go.
Farley?
Say it again.
What about Farley? Does Farley love the groomer that much too? And is it the same groomer?
No, Farley had a different groomer.
Yeah, he said no, I don't like him at all. Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe Farley needs to go to the one that the other dog loves.
I usually make an appointment. I just say whoever's available. So I don't
Oh,
know specific. They have several groomers there.
okay.
The appointment is usually like a couple weeks out because they're really busy.
I know, yeah.
You need to say whoever's available.
But Cassidy really likes her person. Is it a male or is it a woman or a man?
The woman.
Oh, Cassidy said, I don't know what you mean.
I don't know if they have any males there. I've never seen a male there.
Because sometimes they're washed first. So there's people that wash them and then there's different people that groom them also.
Right.
And the washers we might never see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to cut them when they're wet, so to give them a bath first.
Oh, yeah. And that's often a different person at a bigger place
Yeah, place is
That-
pretty big.
that washes them, and then a different person that's trained in cutting them cuts them. It's kind of their hierarchy. You move from washer to groomer
Okay.
in that. Yeah. Because
Okay.
with the papillon that I had, he needed to be groomed every month.
Okay.
So that's, yeah. And he had his favorite also. And she cried when he dropped his body. He had his favorite. And he would try to jump into her arms as she would walk past, and he'd be waiting in a kennel, right? Because it was a PetSmart that he went to. So it was a
Okay.
big operation, but he had his favorite. Mhm. That becomes part of their life, you know?
All right.
So, whoever did this last one for Cassidy, she wants to go back like right now. She just said, right now. I need haircut right now.
Okay.
Cute.
And that's great if you ever need a dog sitter too. Like if you know who this woman is, and they have a bond, she may be willing when you need help, to come and do walks or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Good
It
to
is
know.
good. Yeah, it's good for you to know who they trust and who they bond with. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. We learned that.
Hmm.
Cassidy needs another haircut 3 days later.
Probably because she wants to go get the treats. It's not the haircut, it's the treats.
She wants to be with that person again. She really likes hanging out with that person or that experience in that hour or 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it feels good. I feel it's good probably to get groomed because they're getting combed and everything.
Maybe.
I mean-
Does it feel good? She said yes and no. She's like, I don't like being wet. You don't like being wet? I don't like being really wet. Okay. Because they do have the Labrador in them. And Labradors tend to be water animals. Now, every animal is unique. So we can't take a broad brush and brush over every animal with Labrador in them. But yeah, she doesn't like to be really super soaked, but she likes to be a little bit wet.
Okay.
She just likes that lady. She's showing when the lady actually touches her shoulder. She really likes that lady's touch and that lady's energy, that particular person, whoever that was. Yeah, they have a bond.
Okay. Good to know.
You have a special groomer there. If I were you, I'd be requesting that one.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
Because then she's in good hands. Yeah.
Find out who she is.
She gets a Christmas gift.
Well, her name is probably on the receipt. I can check the receipt.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey there, Farley. You know, get haircut? Okay.
No.
Okay, okay, guys.
Fine
Oh,
right now.
we got a butt that looks like almost like a Swiffer.
You're fine right now.
Oh, oh. What's happening here? Are we the ball? Cassidy uses that bandana to pull Farley back. Did you guys see that?
Yep.
And now she's trying to like sit on him. She's trying to, like sit on his head.
Look at those two.
They're so good together. They're really a blessing.
I should put a camera up and see what they do when I'm at work during the day.
That would be interesting.
That would. And also for Holly's cats. Okay, I'm gonna log off. Any final words? We're all like, Holly's seems really tired. I'm really,
Exhausted.
and Patrick is, well, holding up the conversation.
Yeah, I'm
So-
dead tired right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Alright.
listened to a podcast.
Oh,
I told you
yeah.
I listened to a podcast, so that was interesting.
I didn't
Yeah.
do it yet. I haven't had time.
Yeah, she did a really good job of interviewing and pulling out what I do. Pulling it
Yeah.
out of me. Yeah. Yeah, very good. So we'll have to put a link on a button on this. When this goes up on YouTube, we'll put a button to that. It's a Canadian podcast for anybody listening to this YouTube. And they normally don't talk about animals. But the person who is a counselor, a teacher, you know, a master's of social work, MSW, all of that. I've worked with her dogs. So she said, I want to interview you, even though it's not her normal type of interviewee. Like she interviews people on like how to be happier, and like her husband has a PhD in men's health, something like that. So animal communicators a little bit far to one side, but because it's worked with her animal, she's like, I have to get this out there, you know, to my to her list of podcast listeners. So myself and the animals are very grateful to her. So I did have someone who listened to it that made an appointment, and it is a rescue, but a Belgian Malinois, which looks like a German Shepherd. And yeah, and that was in the last week too. Last week seems like it's been like 6 years and not just a week. So I'm doing the Midwestern thing. I said I was ending, and now I'm not ending. I'm standing in the doorway and I keep talking. But this Belgian Malinois looks like a German Shepherd. It's got black on its ears. It's about a similar size. It's not quite as hairy. Seems like there's a little less hair. However, it seems like the temperament is the same. It's a herding dog. So it's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then that strong prey drive where they like to nip at the heels and smell the butt, and they're just, but this is the only dog I ever encountered that did not have a job. He didn't have a job. He's about a year old now. She got him at 7 weeks. Yeah. Guess he had been abandoned at 4 weeks or something. And I think
Well,
it's
look at Arya's job. Her job is Leo.
mhm.
Weird too.
Yeah, but he had no job, like none. So there was a lot of like, what do I do with myself? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So I said, if you could have any job in the world, what do you want? He's like, to run. Again, it's like a German Shepherd. So to run. And it turns out that this person is into exercise. So she'll bike and run with him. I'm like, okay, all right, there you go. And his second job was going to be to alert her because she lives out in the country or the wilderness. It was mountain time. So I'm not sure if she was up in Canada or if she was down more in Montana. I'm not sure which place it was. I think it might have been Canada. Anyway, so to alert her to what's going on, a car, a truck, a person, a bear, that's coming around. There are others on the property, but they're all grown. So they'll be gone for the day or gone for 2 days or gone for a week, right? So now he's got those 2 jobs, and his name is Max, and he was waiting for this little girl to come back and get him. Since he was 7 weeks old, and he's a year now. So what is that? 9, 10 months? 9 months. He was waiting for this person to come back and get him.
Where did this person leave him?
We don't know who the person. Well, first of all, it's a little girl, not an adult. So we don't know. They don't know. What is it? He was dumped, and then he was picked up and taken to a rescue as a puppy. So we don't know where the mama dog is, where the original human family was, any of that stuff. But he thought this little girl, and he showed me a picture of a little girl. He was waiting for her to come and get him. So he hadn't even transitioned to like, this is your home now. This is your pack. So it's another awesome example how, just getting the word out there about me or people like me, anybody else, doesn't have to be me, is can really assist these animals in transitioning in their little lives. And it was very simple. Once he found out that was his pack and she's not coming back, he was like, oh, okay. There wasn't any tears. There wasn't any trauma. It just was like he needed the information. And the family he's with now didn't have the information. They didn't know there was a little girl where he was originally born and raised up to 4 weeks. They didn't know he didn't have a job, but they knew he really wasn't connecting with the people. He wasn't naughty, but they knew there was a disconnect, And
So
then
is he better now?
Yeah. I mean, I'll check in a few days. I check in about a week apart, and then we see what else needs to be uncovered. Because with that particular breed, they do need a lot of agility exercise. And the human has been putting in the money and the time, taking him to classes, agility classes, etc. Which he loves, but he wasn't bonding with her. Well, we know why, because he was waiting for the little girl. And now he's not waiting for the little girl anymore. He's not sad about her being gone. He's like, oh, okay. Kind of like, no wonder this lady has been spending all this time with me. She's my pack. Okay, I get it now.
So did you say the new family has children or not?
They're 16 and 20 years old. So no, okay. There was no little girl in the house.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he showed me a little girl and she's like, no, my daughter's like 18 or 20 or something like that. I forget the age, but not a little girl. And she goes away to college. So she's gone and my son is 16 and he'll be gone for like a week at a time and he's hardly ever home. And so I questioned the dog further, and this is from when he was a puppy in that space. And so I haven't heard anything from them, and I'll check in again and see how it's going, and we'll probably hear about Max more because he is only a year old, and with that breed they'll be they're not meant to be lap dogs. German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, they're meant to be outside and herding sheep and herding goats and working. They're not meant to sit on your lap and hang out with your cat. Your cat is actually prey to them a lot of the times because they're very prey driven. So we'll hear about Max again. And Sunday, I'm actually spending time with Miss Vanna White again. Not the celebrity, the albino, the white Siberian Husky. That's her people don't want her to be alone all day. Isn't that nice?
So
they're only going out for Sunday, but they're hiring somebody to come spend time with her.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, she does that. If you know Huskies, they do this oh my God, it scrambles your brain. So the
Well,
neighbors were like,
Polly was just looking at the phone right now, saying, "What the heck?"
what? 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 And it looks like Cassidy, like, what the Cassidy, what the fuck? Sorry,
Right?
Farley. Farley, I was imitating Vanna White. Husky, yes, Husky. He said, oh, that's terrible. I know, isn't it? Their language. So I had to like, it scrambles my brain. I can't even do the telepathic thing when she does that. And I said, okay, I can't even do our telepathic thing. I need you to stop doing that so we can do telepathic thing. And I don't speak Husky. I finally told her that like within the first like 48 hours I spent with her. And then she rarely does it anymore now because she doesn't get anywhere with me because I just stand there and be like, ah, you know, because she's trying to tell me in Husky what she wants. But I don't know Husky. And I can't, I mean, normally when they bark, I can still do the telepathic thing. I can still send a telepathic message, even though they're barking. But with this, it scrambled my own brain so much I couldn't send a telepathic message. I'm like, ah. But yeah, they're really smart. So yeah. And the dog Maki roll too. Yeah. Dog, cat, the cat Maki roll lives with Miss Vanna White. And Miss Vanna White is prey driven. So that's where so she has to be in a specific bedroom or certain room when they go away so that she can't get to the cat. They don't want any, you know, we don't want anything to happen. So, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, because there's an art show. Anybody watching this? Yeah, I'm a huge scam there. I don't have any makeup on it, so I can keep putting lavender oil on it every hour. Of course. When you have an event, of course, you get something, a huge mark on your face. Makes sense, right? Yeah, so you're not, if anybody watching this, you're not just seeing stuff. Yep, I got a huge scab on my, and I didn't put makeup on it so that I can keep treating it every hour. And it heals faster with lavender oil on it. Anyway, now I'm really leaving. Bye, Holly. Bye,
Bye.
dogs.